This is Merly, and welcome to our Saturday garden walkthrough at Gardening in Kentucky. The date today is May 10th, 2025, and I'm so excited to share with you some new updates from our Zone 7 Kentucky garden. So we'll start right here where we have our hay bale strawberries. I am so proud with this strawberry garden. And finally, guys, after a few weeks of showing you a hay bale garden that was incompletely covered, finally, I have finished covering my hay bale garden with a plastic mulch. Look in here, guys, and these strawberries are also producing, which is really very cool. Look at this. Isn't that nice? That's so amazing. In here, we got also a few of these strawberry plants have sent out some runners, like this one. This has two runners. And I noticed that the ones that sent out some runners don't have much fruit in them. Yeah, this one still has a lot of grass growing near the plant. But the thing with this is it's really very easy to pull the weeds that are growing very close to the strawberry plants. And here we have our row of celery and cauliflower. Look at that. Those little celery plants that I showed you last week have gotten bigger. Actually, most of them are already big, and I can see that some of them are almost ready for harvest, which is really very exciting. Even the cabbage, no, not, yeah, cabbage, but I'm gonna show you the cabbage here in a little bit because they're over there in the other part of the garden. But this is cauliflower, this is celery, and look at that. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I think last time when I showed you my cauliflower plants, they were still so tiny and they were kind of like purplish because they were in the small 50 cell tray for a very long time. They have gotten root bound already, but after a couple of weeks of being in the ground, the plants are looking very, very healthy. Look at that. Hi. Hi, Abby, Belle, Alex. What is the black stuff on the ground? This is a garden fabric, a woven fabric. It lets water go through this material, but it does not let sunlight underneath it, so it does not let the weeds grow. There are like a few weeds that can grow whenever they get exposed to the sunlight via the holes where you put your plants in. But really, this is very easy to clean because there are only a few weeds that can grow. There are some, I know there are a few weeds that like really find a little hole in this fabric, but what I do is I just pull them. So yeah, this is really nice, very good looking plants we got in here. This week has been cooler than the past week, and so the strawberries have been liking that. And as I've mentioned earlier, they have been sending out some runners. Look at that. And this runner is a new plant. Um, if you like put that in the dirt like that, that should grow some roots, and then you can cut this off and plant this. So this is going to be a new strawberry plant for next year. So let's walk down this path. Oh, look at that. Oh, this one is really good. It's big too. And since it's very early in the season, I haven't seen a lot of insects in the garden yet. So I have read that the celery, because it has a certain smell, will protect the cauliflower, any of the brassicas, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, from chewing insects, which is a good thing. Oh, and look at this one. Isn't this cool? It's really big now. This is one of the two plants that were not eaten by an animal when I first planted this row of celery, because it was just all celery in here and there was no other plant since it was still very early. These celery plants also went through a couple of frost mornings, and they survived. Celery does not like it to be very cold and very hot. There's one, where's that? One celery, oh, it's over there. That celery plant is still small, but it's surviving though. It won't be long and this will be as big as that one. And the way, okay, my plan for this is, the way I'm gonna harvest this is I'm just going to cut this stem. Like, I don't know if you call this a stem or like the leaves, but cut this off when it's big enough, and then just like tie them up with rubber bands. So yeah, I'm not gonna be cutting the whole plant. The plant will stay in the ground. Hopefully I can keep them for the entire season. So let's walk over here. We actually have, if you see those like red colors here in the strawberry hay bale garden, now this area actually, they are sending out the runners. They're not even making any fruit. Okay, but from here, look at that. Isn't that very exciting? And it's very easy to harvest this. Oh, this is almost ready. And look at this one. Oh wow, this is a perfect snacking strawberry. My experiment on hay bale garden turned out to be really good, because this hay bale garden, especially that it is already mulched with a plastic mulch, is very easy to maintain. Less weeding. We only have to weed this portion in here, that, but that's easy to do. You can do that in like a few minutes. And then right here, still we're on this row. Oh, this is another big celery plant. And here, if you notice, there is one plant that looks different from the others. This is a Swiss chard. Early in the season, after I planted the celery, I planted 4 Swiss chard plants in here. 3 of them were eaten by the rabbits. This one, I thought it was dead and I was gonna replace it with another celery. But then after a couple of days, it started growing back. So I let it grow and now it's bigger. We've done one round of harvest from a Swiss chard planted from another part of my garden. This should be ready like in a couple of weeks. And also, look at this, guys. Another thing in here that I'm going to show you, we got this tomato. So let's walk over here between the row of tomatoes and the row of peppers. Last time when I showed you this area of my garden, the tomatoes were still a little bit smaller. Now the tomatoes are at least a foot tall, and they are flowering again. I removed the flowers last weekend because I didn't want them to flower when they were very tiny. But now that they're big enough, I'm gonna let them produce. So this is the first watering zone in my garden. I have planted all all of these rows except for the new one that I am trying to complete. And this is for the peppers. And because last Saturday I said I was gonna plant this area since I already burnt holes in the fabric. But because it has gotten so cold, our mornings this week are in the 40s. No frost though, so my warm weather plants are fine. However, peppers do not like the cold. 40 degrees is a no-no for the peppers. It's actually really a gamble if like around this time in my area, if you plant summer crops, and probably this is the second year when I started planting my summer crops very early. In the past years, I would like wait for second week of April or no, not April, but May. Second week of May or like end of May to put all of my plants in the ground. But this year, I started planting as early as first week of April. And these were already in the ground. We do have a few of the peppers that were eaten by the rabbits. They're still alive, so they're staying in the ground. I will wait for the temperature to go up a little bit higher, maybe when we consistently get around the 70s, because right now we're getting like 40s in the morning. And then there were days this week when we were getting temperatures of like mid 60s high. Up here, look at that, guys. Isn't that amazing? This is called red juice. Each row I have 30 plants. Usually red juice is a very good producer. Red juice tomatoes are and they are also good like commercial tomatoes, just because they hold up really good. And you see this strings. This is called a tomato twine that I tied across this row of tomatoes. And this is really easy, like when you want to stake your tomatoes, and all you have to do is just weave the tomato in the twine. So this one goes right here, and then the next time when it grows this tall, I'm gonna weave it into the next twine. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of twine now, which is about 6 to 8 inches away. And then I'm gonna put some more up here when the tomatoes are taller. So tomatoes are looking great. Let's move on with our tour. I kind of got stuck in there because I was just so excited to show you the tomatoes. And the peppers, they've grown a little bit, but not that much. So all tomatoes in here. Next, let's go this way. Okay, so these are some newer plants. Here we have our spineless beauty zucchini. So these are zucchini squash. And then this in here are the cabbage plants. Some of them still have those like reddish brown leaves, which is normal since it took a while for me to finish planting them. Oh, and I just realized that the top of this cabbage was eaten by an animal. That's okay, that will be replaced today. We have good stuff in here too. Look at the growth of this squash. Looking nice for this this time of the year. Okay, so let's just walk down this path. I really like this kind of garden because it's just very easy to maintain. Like whenever you have everything planted, all you have to do is to, check for damage from the animals, insects, and then make sure you keep up with watering. Oh, it's this area, guys. Look at that. These are, where's the label? This is cash flow zucchini, and then those are the yellow zucchini right there. Now, these were the ones that I seeded, and I planted them when they were super duper tiny. And this is what people should do, because I experimented with growing a squash seedling for a long time in a pot and put them in the ground and like um, germinate a squash seed, and then when it's like still small, planted in the ground. Look at that, they're really very healthy because the squash plants don't want their they don't want their roots to be disturbed. So this one, I didn't disturb their roots. That's why they look so nice. They were not stressed at all. These are the extra cabbage seedlings that I have. So I'll just get one of this and replace the one that was eaten by the animal. I always keep extras. Okay, I don't know what happened to this. It was chewed on. Look at that. It got cut here. But this one is not from an animal. This is from a, what is it called? Like a gray worm. It's called a cutworm. I'm gonna make a video about that whenever I see one again. It's in here somewhere because what it does is it chews on the stem of a young seedling until it cuts the stem. But then it cuts it at soil level, so the whole plant dies. That's what happens. Yeah, the rest of them, these are red juice tomatoes. They are not as nice as the first batch because after I planted this, it got really cold. And the tomato seedlings are not happy being so cold. This one is same thing. It was cutworm that came in, chewed the stem, and then cut the plant, and then it left. It does not even eat the whole plant. It's crazy. And they like it when your plants are really small. Do you start with very young seedlings? The cutworms like that because it's easy to chew on the stems. Now these ones in here, I seeded this early, like very early. I think this was in the first batch of seedlings that I planted. And so they were a little bit mature when I put them in the ground, and the cutworms did not bother them at all. They only like this one here. Notice that it's too short, and the reason for that is this one that was actually cut. This is the original stem. See that? That's the original plant. This is actually the top of that plant that when I saw it laying on the ground, I decided to stick it in the dirt or in the soil. Same with this. I don't know if they're gonna survive. If they will root, that's fine. If not, I'm gonna replace them. And here, an animal started digging around the plant. So yeah, and this is the last row of the first the zone in my garden. I have different zones for irrigation because I don't have enough pressure to irrigate this whole area. So I divided this into two zones. So this is zone 1, the end of zone 1. And I have been watering this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 irrigation distribution lines. Every morning at 6 o'clock, I water them for 30 minutes. No fertilizer yet, but later today or maybe tomorrow morning, I'm going to install my fertigation system for this area because it's already done. But I'm gonna do that whenever I'm done making irrigation lines for the strawberry hay bale or hay bale strawberry garden. Now moving on to zone 2, and I've only planted 1.5. This is the same thing I showed you last week. So let's just gonna walk fast. We'll just walk faster in here. There's nothing new in here. These are Jetstar tomatoes in our sunken container garden. The cucumbers, you can probably tell that they have grown a little, but because it has been so cold, especially in the morning, we have 40s, they have not grown that much. So they're about the same size. Same with the eggplants, they're not liking the cold temperature. But that's okay. I think next week will be a little bit warmer, so this should grow bigger. That's what we have here in the second zone, because that's all for the zone 1. You can see here where the tube ended. So this is the last one for the first zone. And then this one is for the other watering zone. But I only have a few plants in there, so I have my water hose. I just spray the not the plants but the soil with water in that area. But once I have all of this planted, I'm going to connect the irrigation. I'm just going to show you where it is real quick. It's right here. Oh, I just noticed that this one's open. I intentionally covered it with a grocery bag so that dirt and like insects cannot get inside the irrigation line. So this is where the water hose will be connected, and then the water will be distributed along these distribution lines in this zone. And in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 lines in here. So that's 30 plants per row. 9 times 30, 270 plants in the second zone. In the first zone, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 here, so 8 times. No, actually, this is double. This is 60 plants a row. So 6 times 30. 100. I can't do math. 6 times 30. 180 plants plus 120. I don't know how much would that be. 300? Yeah, 300 plants. Excluding the strawberries. I did not count the strawberries because I just don't want to do math anymore. So anyway, we're supposed to enjoy our garden. So we do less math here. Math is just for school. Okay, anyway, no, that was wrong. Sorry, math is not just for school. It's for everything. There's math in anything. I teach chemistry and physics, so and we do math all the time. So I'm tired of doing it. So let's just enjoy the garden. So here is our tower, which needs some work. I actually have something new in here for you guys. Look at this. I was gonna say everlasting, but ever-bearing strawberries. Very nice looking strawberries. This is not the same as the one over there. The one over there, those are June bearing, and they produce fruit just once a year. The ever-bearing variety produces fruit multiple times a year. So that's really cool. I'm excited for that. This is Aphrodite cantaloupe, a little Swiss chard. We have marigold and another cantaloupe. So I planted 2 cantaloupes here and 2 cantaloupe on the other side, and then I put 1 marigold on each side. That's the marigold I planted. I just noticed that there's a little marigold that's growing in here. This is a volunteer, so I will let that grow. And this one here, our composting in place experiment that we did last fall and winter. Look at this, guys. Isn't that cool? That is so amazing. Look at how huge these broccoli plants are. This is so good. I did not fertilize this area, guys. No fertilizer here. And I watered the plants when they were small. Not that they're bigger, because I didn't have time to install an irrigation system in here. I did not even water them anymore. They get water from the rain, and then they sip water from all of the organic materials, because there are also logs underneath this. And then of course those rotten pumpkins that we threw in here. Swiss chard garden in this area. The reason why we don't have so many leaves in that area is because we already did our first round of harvest from this Swiss chard. Now I didn't harvest much from the ones in here because they were still small. I think I harvested last Saturday. I'm not sure if it was before or after my live stream, but I did, and I got 3 bunches of Swiss chard. And these Swiss chard are grown naturally. I cannot say organic because say you have you need to be what's that? certified. Anyway, I'm not certified organic, but these are grown eh, following, the ways of how you grow organic vegetables. And this, look at that. These are cauliflower, the extra cauliflower that I have, because I didn't get to plant all of them in the other gardens. I put them in here and they're looking great. And you might be able to tell the difference between this, or are they really cauliflower? Now I'm confused. Yeah, they are cauliflower. Okay, I got confused if they're cauliflower or cabbage, but I can tell by the leaves that these are cauliflower. And these were the extra cauliflower from the ones over there with the celery on the other side. And then this, I'm actually so proud of this because the last few live streams that I did and the other videos I did, this area was bare. And I was finally able to cover it. Not planted yet, but that's a good um, thing that it's already covered because the grass has started growing in this area. And you can tell in here, this is like one of the mistakes that I have done this season, because instead of putting a cover on the ground and burning holes just like what I did in the other parts of the garden, I got so impatient and I planted all of the celery in the bare ground. And this is what happened. I mean, the celery plants are growing, no question about that, but also the weeds are growing. Lots of grass, like the ground is now covered with grass because I did not mulch this. That's actually the reason why you should always, like we should always mulch. Like if you don't have this kind of fabric to cover your planting area, you should at least like put something like dry leaves or like wood chips or something similar, maybe cardboard. I did shredded paper at one time. It turned out okay, but it was a little bit tough to use shredded paper. So now I have another job to do in here, which is to clean this area because celery does not need or does not like competition. Oh, but as you can see, guys, look at this. This celery, these celery plants were planted after I planted the celery plants over there. And you can tell the difference. These are actually much better. Their color is, the color is darker green over most of them. The yellow ones were like the old leaves and like they need to go. We can just remove that. But generally these plants are performing better than the ones in the other garden. It's because this has lots of compost, because I composted in this area. And I really recommend composting in place because you have to do a little work for like, and in exchange of a really good soil, because your plant is only as good as your soil. We have bachelor's button. This is the zinnia that I planted. This is for the herbs here and some flowers. We got sage, we got basil. I've harvested basil once. It was like last weekend. This is lavender. We have rosemary too. That is rosemary. I haven't harvested rosemary. They're growing really slow for me. The sage is looking great. This is thyme. And this is stevia. Oh, that's probably somebody that I know that hunted me. And then we have here, how many do I have? 50, maybe, no, 48, no, 47 now because I already planted one. 47 zinnia seedlings that are ready to go in the ground. And I'll plant this today. I think the area where they need to go is almost ready. So this is gonna go in the ground today. I'm so excited. They already have, look at that. They're ready to flower, guys. And the original herb garden, look at this. Cilantro plants have bolted. So apparently I learned that cilantro does not like to be in full sun. And I have watched a bunch of videos about it because I've been wondering why these cilantro plants are like, they always bolt for me. So now this year I'll be planting more cilantro in a shaded area to protect them from the direct sunlight. We have some elephant garlic right here. We have, look at this bachelor's button. It has taken off. Beautiful flowers. And then here, you see these purple flowers? These are sage. This sage in here is not flowering yet. I've been harvesting from this to sell in our little produce stand. And then we have a monster of oregano in this area. We've been harvesting from the side. There's still a lot. And here we have our purple basil. We got stevia again. Bachelor's button. Next is we have rosemary, sage, and some more thyme. Now over here on the other side, I forgot to mention this. We have a row of blackberries, and our blackberries, these are new. I planted this like, when was that? Last month. I got these plants from an Amish auction, found some blueberries and blackberries. Sadly, I did not win the blueberries, but I got the blackberries, and I got 5 of them, which is not bad at all. Got them for $10 a piece. There is, yeah, I mean, that's a great deal. And also, these are already producing. So that's really great. Look at this one. Oh my goodness, look at this, guys. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, wow. The flowers of the blackberries are super beautiful. And then when the petals come off, look at this. I am so excited to taste this blackberries. Look at that. Very healthy. And another lavender right here. Okay, so we don't have anything growing in the arch yet, but when it's warm enough, this Aphrodite cantaloupe should go here, and then we'll make a shade and will be very pretty. Now here, what else do we have? Over there, those are just I have like a couple of Jetstar that didn't like the cold, and some Swiss chard and some flowers. More bachelor's buttons in here, guys. These are some volunteer bachelor's button. And look at all of our garlic. We've started selling this garlic as green garlic. If you haven't tried yet, green garlic is so delicious. I saute it with the other vegetables, and green garlic tastes so good. Now over here we have a couple of broccoli that I just, I found some space for them, planted them. There are still weeds in here. I'm not going to, I usually use a cultivator to clean up the area, but with this area I'm experimenting on not disturbing the soil. So because they said that it's good for the soil if you don't disturb it. So that's what I'm trying to do. I just dug up an area and then plant something, and that's what I'm doing in this area. So you see them, and then whenever the weeds grow taller, I pull them. I just hand pull them and then drop them in the ground. This is our flower tower. The bottom part is doing really good, although it's always been disturbed by animals. But the top one, I think they don't like the cold air yet, because Wandering Jew, I think it does not like temperatures higher than 70 degrees. And here we have, the others, Shasta Daisy. Oh, this, strawberries. See all of that strawberries, guys? Strawberries are so cool. But it's so hard to harvest from this because this patch has gotten so wide. This has gotten like twice the size, twice the width of the strawberry patch that I made last year. And the reason for that is because I let the runners grow. So it has expanded. It went in here. And then since the beginning of producing these strawberries, I noticed that there were so many birds in here. So I bought this bird netting. I got these arches from a farm supply store, and I should have gotten the wider ones. I got the smaller ones. Could have gotten the bigger ones. I don't know why I picked the smaller ones, but it worked out well. And look at this. Strawberries are ready for harvest. Isn't that amazing? And I'm gonna harvest this today, because you can't just leave rotten strawberries in the ground. That's not good. it will attract a lot of wildlife. And here, more of the garlic. And then these are onions. Okay. This, I didn't do much in here. I actually didn't do anything in this area of the garden for a while now. Onions are looking good. Oh, and this, I learned that these are weeds, but these are called something like daisies. I can't remember. We got some yesterday because we had May crowning at school, and my daughter needed to bring some flowers. So we got some red roses from my front yard, and then we took some of this. Very nice. So yeah, weeds are useful too. And in one of, I think that was last, yeah, when was that? Monday, I released a video in up potting tomatoes, and these are the tomato seedlings that we have. They're still in the ground because I didn't really get a chance to come in here and do a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, the seedlings are still alive. Those are something yellowish, probably from the stress because it's been so cold. And then our baskets, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. Today we are supposed to finish this greenhouse as a Mother's Day present for me. So my husband and kids will help me finish this greenhouse. Super nice. More seedlings in here, guys, in our greenhouse. And oh, look at this. Peppers. These are hot peppers. So the peppers that I planted in the ground are sweet bell, yellow and red bell. These are the hot peppers. And oh, people love this. We got jalapeno, we got cayenne, we got what else do we have? Serrano. We got, I hope I can find a name here. If it's not in my, okay, this one does not have a name. I know this is cayenne and that is jalapeno. Jalapeno. No name? Okay. Oh, Anaheim and Serrano. Yeah. So these two are hot peppers, like hot. Some people like it. Anyway, and these are sunflower seedlings. You can just direct seed sunflowers, guys. I just wanted to have like something that will bloom early in the season because I love flowers. And yeah, super cool. Big couple of basil plants in there. That's it, guys. That's what we have. And then just to end this video, I'm going to show you our Gala apple. Let's check on the Gala apple because the last time I checked our Gala apple was when I was on a live stream. So I didn't get a chance to come in here and check on them. But oh wow, look at this. Isn't that exciting? We got a couple, oh, actually 3 of them. But yeah, this one is already bigger. That's super cool. Love that. And also that one, very nice apple tree. That's yellow delicious. And then this is Gala. All right, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Last one. Let's go in here real quick. This, I skipped this one. Didn't say anything about this, but these are the purple top turnips, and we have a few radishes on this side. So I need to check if the radishes are ready for harvest. The ones that are sticking out are volunteer potatoes. Yep. We got potatoes, a few of them. I just let them grow in there. But yeah, this one is actually, it is exploding with greens. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this live stream. And I hope you're having a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to your loved ones as well. And I hope you are enjoying your garden. That's gonna be all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Have a great day and happy gardening.